Hey everyone, and welcome back to AI Podcast. Today we're diving deep into Insilico Medicine.
Oh, yeah. In Insilico Medicine, they're using AI to change how we discover and develop new drugs.
They're really at the forefront of this whole AI drug discovery thing.
Absolutely. Their approach is really
Yeah,
ambitious.
and we're going to break it all down for you.
We'll see how they're aiming to make drug discovery faster, cheaper, and way more effective.
All by harnessing the power of AI.
Exactly.
So for those who might not be super familiar with them, what exactly is Insilico Medicine?
Now, Insilico Medicine is a company founded in 2014, headquartered in Hong Kong.
Okay, so relatively new to the scene.
Yeah, and their mission, you could say, is to speed up drug discovery, lower the costs, and tackle these really tough diseases.
The ones that have been really hard to treat with traditional methods.
Exactly.
So they're combining cutting-edge AI, genomics, and medicinal chemistry.
Yeah, to create a whole new way of looking at drug discovery.
So how does this AI platform actually work? It sounds super complex.
It might sound futuristic, but it's very real.
So tell me, how do they actually use AI to discover new drugs?
They've developed a whole set of AI tools that work together.
Okay, a suite of tools.
Each one targets a specific stage of the drug discovery process.
So it's like a step-by-step process, but with AI powering every single step.
Yes, think of it like an assembly line, but for building drugs.
Gotcha. So break down some of these AI tools for me. What are we talking about here?
Well, one of the most notable ones is called Pandy Aomics. Think of it like a superpowered detective.
Okay, a detective for what?
It's searching for new drug targets. It uses natural language processing.
NLP, right. We've talked about that before.
Yes, it allows computers to understand and analyze human language.
So they're feeding the AI tons of information about diseases and genes.
Exactly, and it can sift through mountains of this data to pinpoint promising leads.
Leads for new drugs, you mean?
Exactly, things that might be missed by traditional research methods.
So it's not just looking for a needle in a haystack. It's like finding the right needle in a haystack.
Precisely.
That's amazing. What other AI tools are they using?
Another impressive one is Chemistry 42.
Okay, what's that one all about?
This one is all about designing and optimizing the drug molecules themselves.
Wait, so they're actually building molecules on a computer?
That's right, virtually, using AI.
So instead of test tubes and beakers, they're doing it digitally?
Exactly, using techniques like GANs and reinforcement learning.
Okay, now you're getting a little too technical for me. Can you explain those in simple terms?
Sure, imagine two AI algorithms playing a game.
Okay, I'm listening.
One creates a potential drug molecule,
And the other one?
judges it, determines its quality.
Like a competition.
Exactly. They go back and forth, the creator getting better and better at making molecules.
That fool the judge.
Exactly. That's essentially how GANs work, like an AI apprenticeship.
I love that analogy. So that's JANs. What about reinforcement learning? How does that work?
Think of it like training a dog.
Okay.
You give the AI a task, like optimizing a molecule to be more effective.
And you reward it when it does well.
Yes. Over time, the AI learns which actions lead to the best results.
So it becomes a master molecule optimizer.
You got it.
That's incredible. So these AI tools are working together, each with its own special skill, to basically supercharge drug discovery.
Exactly. It's a team effort.
And this is all in contrast to how drug discovery has traditionally been done.
Yeah, the traditional approach has always been very slow, expensive, and risky.
It takes forever and costs a fortune, and it still might not even work.
That's right. It can take over a decade and billions of dollars to bring a single new drug to market.
And even then, there's no guarantee of success.
Exactly. Many drugs fail in clinical trials after all that time and money.
So Insilico is trying to change all of that.
They are. They want to make the whole process faster, cheaper, and more effective.
So how is AI actually changing the game at each stage of the drug discovery process? Let's break it down.
Sure. The first stage is target identification and validation,
Which basically means?
finding the specific biological mechanisms involved in a disease that a drug can act upon.
Got it. And traditionally, this has been a very long and tedious process.
Very. It can involve years of research.
Because you're basically trying to find a needle in a haystack.
But a haystack made of complex biological data.
Right. So how does AI help with that?
Well, AI is amazing at sifting through massive amounts of data and identifying those needles.
So instead of having a team of scientists doing it manually, you have AI doing it much faster.
Exactly, and more efficiently.
Okay, so AI helps find the target, What's the next stage?
Molecular design and optimization.
Which is where you actually create the drug molecule itself.
Precisely. And this has traditionally been a slow and painstaking process.
Lots of trial and error in the lab.
Yes, but Insilico's AI can generate and optimize millions of potential drug candidates virtually.
Millions. How do they even choose which ones to focus on?
That's where the AI comes in.
It helps narrow it down.
Exactly. The AI algorithms evaluate each candidate based on various factors,
Right.
like its ability to bind to the target, its stability, its toxicity.
So the AI is basically acting like an expert chemist, but it's superhuman speed and scale.
You got it. It's guiding the process and increasing the chances of finding that perfect molecule.
Okay, so AI helps find the target and then design the molecule. What happens next?
Next comes predicting drug success.
Which basically means figuring out if the drug will actually work in humans.
Yes, this is where they assess how a drug candidate is likely to perform in clinical trials.
And clinical trials are those studies done on human volunteers to see if a drug is safe and effective.
That's right, and they are incredibly expensive and time-consuming.
You definitely don't want to waste time and money on a drug that's not going to work.
Exactly, and that's where Insilico's Clinico platform comes in.
Okay, tell me about that.
It analyzes tons of data from past clinical trials.
And uses that to predict how a new drug will perform.
Exactly. It's like having a crystal ball for drug development.
So they're using the past to predict the future of drug development.
Precisely. It helps them make smarter decisions about which drugs to pursue.
This is all very impressive, but we're forgetting one stage of drug discovery, right?
You're right. The fourth stage is all about repurposing existing drugs.
So taking drugs that were already developed for one thing and seeing if they can work for something else.
Yes. Sometimes a drug that was originally designed for one disease might be effective against a completely different disease.
It's like finding a hidden talent.
It's a great analogy. Instead of starting from scratch, they're finding new uses for existing drugs.
Which saves time and money.
Exactly. And AI is crucial in this process. It analyzes vast databases of drug information to uncover these hidden connections.
Like a matchmaker for drugs.
Precisely. It can identify patterns that human researchers might miss, leading to new treatment options.
It's amazing how AI is transforming every stage of the drug discovery process. It's incredible to see technology having such a profound impact on medicine.
It truly is, and Insilico is at the forefront of this revolution.
So we've talked a lot about the theory behind their approach, but I'm curious about the results. What have they actually achieved so far?
Oh, they've achieved a lot. One of their most significant achievements was developing an AI-designed molecule that made it to clinical trial.
Wait, hold on. An AI-designed drug being tested on humans. That's huge.
It was a groundbreaking moment. This was back in 2020.
Oh, just a few years ago.
And the drug was designed to target a serious lung disease called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis.
IPF.
Yeah.
Right. I've heard that it's a pretty nasty disease.
It is, and there are limited treatment options.
So for them to develop a new drug for this disease using AI is a major accomplishment.
Absolutely. And what's even more remarkable is that they were able to achieve this in less than 18 months.
18 months. That's insanely fast
Mhm.
compared to the typical drug development timeline.
I know. It usually takes years, sometimes even a decade or more.
This really shows the power of AI to accelerate the process.
It does, and it's attracted a lot of attention from investors.
I bet. Have they raised much funding?
Oh, yeah, over $400 million in funding.
That's incredible. It shows that people are really taking them seriously.
They are, and they've also partnered with big pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson.
That's huge. It's not just hype. They're getting real industry support.
Exactly. And their work has also been recognized by the scientific community. They've published a ton of research papers and won numerous awards.
So they're not just making headlines, they're getting real scientific validation.
They are, and they're not stopping there. They're expanding their efforts to tackle other challenging diseases.
Like what?
Neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
Wow, those are some of the biggest challenges in medicine today.
They are, and they're also looking at infectious diseases and age-related conditions.
So not just treating diseases, but trying to combat aging itself.
Exactly. Their founder is really passionate about aging research.
It's amazing to see a company pushing the boundaries like this. It's like they're writing a new chapter in the story of medicine.
It is, and they have a very exciting vision for the future.
Let's hear it.
Yep.
What's their vision for the future of drug discovery?
Their ultimate goal is to create a fully integrated drug development platform.
A one-stop shop for drug development.
Exactly, powered by AI from start to finish.
So from target identification all the way to clinical trials and beyond.
It would be a complete revolution in how we develop drugs.
That's a bold vision. Are they making progress towards that?
They are, and they're also working on refining their AI algorithms.
So making them even better and smarter.
Exactly. And another major focus for them is personalized medicine.
Personalized medicine. What's that all about?
Tailoring treatments to individual patients based on their unique genetic makeup and other factors.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, we could have treatments designed specifically for each person.
Yes, like custom-made medicine.
And how does AI fit into this?
AI can analyze vast amounts of patient data, like their genes, medical history, and lifestyle.
And use that information to tailor treatments.
Exactly. It's a whole new level of personalized care.
That's incredible. What else is on their agenda?
They're also committed to making a global health impact.
Meaning?
They want to use their technology to address diseases that disproportionately affect developing countries.
The ones that are often neglected because they're not seen as profitable.
Exactly. They're trying to level the playing field and make sure everyone has access to innovative treatments.
That's really admirable. It's clear that Insilico has a big vision and a lot of potential. But are there any challenges they're facing?
Of course, there are always challenges when you're trying to do something truly groundbreaking.
Like what?
One of the biggest challenges is navigating the regulatory landscape.
The pharmaceutical industry is heavily regulated, right?
It is, and for good reason. Patient safety is paramount.
So they have to prove to regulators that their AI approach is safe and effective.
Exactly, and that's no easy feat.
What other challenges are they dealing with?
Another big one is data quality. AI models are only as good as the data they're trained on.
So if a data is bad, the AI will be bad too.
Exactly. That's why Insilico is extremely careful about the data they use.
They have to make sure it's accurate, complete, and unbiased.
Precisely. And then there's the challenge of competition.
Every successful company attracts competition.
That's right. And the AI drug discovery space is getting increasingly crowded.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Insilico, what's the main takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
Insilico is at the forefront of this whole revolution in drug discovery.
A revolution powered by AI.
And they're using it to try and solve some of humanity's biggest health challenges.
They're not just developing drugs, they're developing a whole new future.
Yeah, for medicine.
It's been amazing learning about all this.
It really is cutting-edge stuff.
Thanks so much for sharing your insights.
It's been a pleasure. Always happy to talk about AI and healthcare.
And to all our listeners out there, if you're as fascinated by Insilico as we are,
Check out their website
follow them on social media, stay up to date on their work.
because they're doing some really incredible things.
They are, and who knows what breakthroughs they'll make next.
It's an exciting time.
It is, and on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of AI Podcast.
But don't forget,
We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode.
exploring another exciting development in the world of AI.
So until then, stay curious.